What's up guys, welcome back. We're going to be doing pre-production here. We're going to be talking about timelines, your cast and crew, art direction, your equipment that you're going to need on set, and also all the fun stuff, production paperwork. Let's get it. So we're going to switch gears a little bit here because you've done all the creative stuff now. Now we're going to think about the actual logistics of this production, how we're going to actually make this happen. This is key in order to have a smooth set and really try and bring your idea to life. There's a system for this. People have been doing this for many years. So over time, we've developed a great structure in order for you to create this film. And it's just film fundamentals, just the basics of film production. You got to think about the story that you want to share, why you want to do it, and this is going to really be the cornerstone of how you're going to organize your production. Organization is key. You want to be on it, you want to be switched on, you want everyone in your team to be switched on, and this is a big part of pre-production. Timelines is key. What we like to do is to work backwards off this. So if we're working with a client or even if it's a passion project, having some timelines is going to give you structure, which is what we spoke about previously, is having some form of structure for your creativity. If I'm talking to a client, I'm going to ask them, hey, when do you need this by? This is going to be important for us to figure out when we need to film and therefore when we need to start our pre-production. Understanding what the deadline is and knowing how long it's going to take to film, and working backwards how long we're going to have to take to organize this and when everyone's free. Whether it's a passion project, something for a film festival, maybe you're submitting something for a grant, or you're working with a client, when do we need to get this done? So even if it is a passion project, maybe you don't have a timeline. Maybe this is just something you want to do to express yourself. That's fine, but you're not going to finish getting expressed unless you have a deadline. You want to try and really pick a timeline that works for you in order to get this done. At the end of the day, I know a lot of people, including myself, that have ideas that, get into pre-production, but don't get it done because of this and that, and you let obstacles get in the way. If it means a lot to you and you really want to, push for it, having a deadline is going to be key, is going to be crucial. And that can change, that can always be pushed back, especially if it's a passion project. But I think it's about being aware of, what capabilities you have, how much capacity you and your team have, and then really working backwards off that as well, and finding a time that really works for you. So, when do you want to get this done by? Imagine yourself sitting there, watching the film for the first time, and that feeling, that great feeling of getting it done, and showing people as well. That's the fun part. Don't be too hard on yourself, especially if it's a passion project, but be super hard on yourself if it's a client's deadline, because you got to work towards that. You got to prioritize your time and scheduling to get it done by then. Deadlines is going to be key, not just for your finished film, but for every single task that you do throughout this process. A very important thing to keep in mind is your budget. All of the things that we're talking about today really depends on your budget, and if you can afford to have, these extra crew, your equipment, all these things come down to what you're willing to spend or what you have to spend on this film project. Your budget is really going to dictate what you can do with what you've got. So at the end of the day, what I love doing is finding out what the budget is, whether it's for a client or it's a passion project, and really mapping out what you need to spend on, what you don't need to spend on, and also how you can get the most out of your money. So if you're hiring extra people, or you can get a location for free, or you can collaborate with different brands and whatnot, really thinking about, how can I be smarter with my budget, and how can I make this budget really work for me and really get the highest quality possible from what I have. Whether it's really big or really small, at the end of the day, it's the same thing, like trying to make the most of what you have. It can be tough doing something on a lower budget. I get it, I've been there, but at the end of the day, like if your story is important to you and you really want to make this film, then you're going to make it happen. And sometimes you're going to make sacrifices, and you just got to understand where to invest. What's important to you? Is it more important to invest in the camera crew? Is it more important to invest in the location? Like, what is it? And really understanding what it takes to make this happen for you. It doesn't hurt to ask for advice as well, especially when it comes to money, whether it might be you're an accountant or a financial advisor or another filmmaker that's already done it before with that similar budget. You can always ask questions, you can ask around. ask around what rates are as well, and really figure it out. A lot of people struggle to talk about this, but it's going to be key for you to make it happen. So don't be afraid to, ask for what the budget is, or figure out how or what is the best way for me to use this budget. Casting, the process of casting. So you can cast this yourself. You can go to an agency. There's many agencies out there that do casting for you. You can talk to an actual modeling or acting agency to find talent, or you can go on Star Now or many of the other websites or Facebook groups to try and find your talent. At the end of the day, casting is your process of looking for the right actors that are going to bring your story to life. If you've done your mood board right, and you've done your outline right, and you've done your synopsis right, you know who your characters are, what they look and feel like. And now it's just really about going out and meeting people and really trying to see who fits the role. It's never going to be perfect, but you're going to find someone that is going to not only connect with that character, but they can even take it further. They're bringing their own life experiences into this role, and it's really a collaborative process. Trying to find out who you want in front of the camera, why. You could do auditions. So if you're holding auditions, you can set a date and time, have people come in, read a part of the script, and you can get a gauge of how they would perform. You can ask them some questions, get a feel for their personality, what they're going to be like on set. You can also do online auditions too. So you can have people send in self-tapes. You can write a little bit of your script and send that to them to share. This gives you an idea of how they would play the role already. And then from there, it's up to you on whether you want them to be part of the film. You can get them to come in and have an interview or have a chat. Casting is a fun process, and it's really, at the end of the day, finding the best suited person for that role.